niggas stop caring so much. You niggas care too much, bro. That's why you ain't close to the bag, nigga. I've been on this shit, you feel me? Big bag. Glad big bag.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the hashtag whyisthisnews podcast. This is episode number 19. If you guys did not watch episode number 18, that is with my boy Don Collins, aka Don One, whatever the fuck you want to call him. He has multiple different names. I still don't know. Even after the interview, I still don't know. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have a rapper slash YouTuber. This man does reactions as well as makes his own music as well. I am talking about the one, the only, Gatsb. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's poppin' with y'all? How you doing today? Happy to be here.
First of all, I want to congratulate you on 10K subscribers, 10K gang over here, you know.
Hey, 10K gang, what's up?
Yes, sir. I just hit it earlier this week, and he hit it
like 2 days before me.
Yeah, 2 days, just 2 days before you. So,
yeah.
Hey, big congrats to you, man. A big milestone and stuff like that. And
Thank you.
yeah, we just gonna talk about some stuff. Obviously, I have a Steelers jersey on. I don't know if he has a Drew Lock jersey on right now. I can't see his face right now, but yeah, I don't know what he's got on. I'll find out whenever I get the footage. But it's mainly just to troll him because he's a Broncos fan. We gonna get into that, especially a hypocrisy I saw from a list a couple weeks ago. We gonna get into that kind of stuff. But first, I wanted to talk to you about just in general, how did you get into music, man? How did you get started rapping and stuff like that? How did you get into it?
Yeah, so I've been making music for as long as I can remember. There's different kinds of music. My pops was a worship pastor at a church when I was a kid. So I was always around music, always surrounded by musicians. I mean, with my dad being full-time music, it was like that was just what I knew. And so I was playing guitar when I was like 3. Put a guitar in my hands and let me run around with this guitar that was the exact same size as my whole little tiny body. And I couldn't focus. Like I couldn't figure out like why I couldn't pay attention to it. I just got bored and I'd put it down. I'd carry it around, but I wouldn't play it. And so figured out I'm kind of super ADD. So the solution to that was, okay, let's give him drums, because then you have 4 things. I was always hitting stuff, and so there's 4 things. You got both your hands and both your feet. You got to control, and you get full control over the whole set. Not saying guitar you don't, but drums was just more hands-on for me. And that was kind of the cure. Like I was like, I think I really picked up drums. I got my first kit when I was like 7. And just fell in love with it. I loved rhythm, and I loved tempo, and I loved being able to find the pocket, fit in the pocket, and then manipulate and break the pocket. And you see that a lot with my music now, is where I'll hop into a pocket and stay in this melodramatic point, and then hit with an out of pocket like double time or offbeat rhyme scheme. And that all just comes from playing drums. But hip hop came around. I fell in love with hip hop. See, being from a church scene, hip hop was kind of like taboo. Like it was kind of looked at as like it was all around me, because I grew up in Price Hill, Cincinnati, and so hip hop was like surrounding me, but I was never allowed to like get into it. And I finally hopped into hip hop with Graduation by Kanye. That was the first hip hop album I ever owned. And I only owned it because my cousin had it, and I burned a CD off his iTunes. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be watching this video like, what is burning a CD?
I know. Hell no.
So yeah, I took all the songs and put them on a blank CD. For those of you that are TikTok generation and don't understand, I got you. And I wrote on the CD, the blank CD, Switchfoot which is a popular Christian rock band. So that if anybody got my little Walkman, they'd be like, oh, he's just listening to Switchfoot. But I'm just chilling with my little portable CD player, walking around listening to Graduation. I didn't have one of the anti-skip CD players, so I had to like shuffle my feet whenever I walked, because if I walked too hard, the CD would skip. But ever since then, like I just really like fell in love with it, and started writing when I was like 15, I think. Somebody told me that I couldn't rap. Like I was learning Eminem verses, just like the double times and rapping fast, and somebody's like, you can't rap, like your voice is too high, you can't rap. And I was like, I'm gonna write a song and I'll show you. And so the first song I ever wrote was a remix to the Duke Westlake cipher, which was like a cipher that was going around on YouTube at the time. And that was when like D Pride was real big. 6 Seconds was still Shizzy 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like all these guys that I looked up to. I wrote that and I put it out. It got a decent like reception, and I just kept writing, and really it just became like my release, like my escape from the world was just to write and express my feelings that way.
Okay. So, you said you grew up in Cincinnati. What was life like growing up in Cincinnati and stuff like that? Because for those of you that not know, I did go to college in Ohio, but like I've never really been to like the Cincinnati area, so I don't really know what that area is kind of like. So like, what was life like growing up in Cincinnati, man?
So Cincinnati's an interesting city because one street can be $1 million homes and the next street can be, $400 apartment complexes. Like it's really like you go street to street and everything, like the whole world changes, which was dope because I was exposed to different like cultures at a young age, where everything wasn't high end and pretty, but everything wasn't like downtrodden and stuff like that. So it's really, really interesting. But the street that I grew up on was kind of secluded, I'd say. And I didn't like it. I didn't like how my street was so like contained within itself, and everybody, you don't go to the next street over, you don't go across town. It's like Harrison doesn't go to Bridgetown and Bridgetown doesn't go to Cheviot, and it's weird. I love it now, but growing up it was kind of like a bubble almost. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, being in Ohio, I mean, like when I went to school, because I went to Bowling Green State University up there for like about 2.5 years and stuff like that, and it's very like it's like there's a place there, and then it's like like you're almost like in the middle of nowhere almost. It's like a school right there, like in the middle of nowhere, and then after that, it's like there's like nothing. So it's like I don't know if that's just how the whole entire state of Ohio is, but like you explaining like how like in one part there could be $1 million houses, and then you could drop to the next street and it's $400 apartment complexes, which is kind of wild. But the next question I got for you is, man, how did you get into starting to do YouTube, man? Like, how did you decide to start making YouTube videos and mainly like putting your music out on YouTube first? Let's start with the music first. How you decided to start doing the music on YouTube first?
Yeah, so I really started taking music seriously, I'd say like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Or taking hip-hop music seriously like 2 years ago. I was a studio drummer and contracted drummer, but writing was my like true passion. Mm-hmm. And but I get in these pockets where I just convince myself that I'm terrible. That's like half the time you are as a musician, you think you're the greatest thing ever, and then the next moment you're like, I should never write another song again ever. And so I hit one of those pockets where I was like, yep, I'm not gonna be a rapper, like it's not gonna work out for me, but I still love hip hop culture and everything surrounding it. So I decided to do reactions, and that was earlier this year in February. Mm-hmm. So I decided to, just one day on a whim, I was like, let's just film a reaction and see what happens. I was watching, watching guys like Shaq and Laid Back, Lost in Vegas. I told you I was checking your channel out before I got into YouTube, like wild. But I was watching all these guys, and I was like, I think that I have like that charismatic personality, and I have the knowledge of music to where I could offer something to people. So the first reaction I did was do a Luke Gahn song.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah, I really mess with Luke's rhythm. His rhythm is second to none. I mean, a lot of people can say whatever they want about his lyricism or topically.
Okay.
But like his rhythm and his ability to manipulate a pocket is pretty impressive. He gave the eyes. But yeah, so I did that. That got a really good reception, and so I just started making reaction videos.
Okay.
And I did the Antonio Brown song.
Oh my God.
Antonio Brown, Logan Paul one.
I don't.
He murked your boy.
Look. Look. If you're subscribed to my second channel, Skies Living Sports, you have a second channel. I have eviscerated Antonio Brown for almost the whole year on that channel. I have eviscerated him because Antonio Brown was my favorite football player. I have a jersey. It's still in my closet. I can't wear it anymore. I can't wear it until he retires or something like that, or I can't wear it right now. I can't do it. And like yeah, Antonio Brown. Like I said, y'all, if y'all like, just go check out my discography on my second channel, bro. I've completely destroyed this man, bro. I've completely destroyed him, bro. Like I even reacted to the one of his songs that he put out, his first track that he put out, and I'm like, fam, what is he doing? I'm like, what is? It was the Whole Lot of Money song. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, huh? What's going on? What's going on here, bro? But yeah, I don't want to talk about it no more. Just go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I put out the Logan Paul and Antonio Brown reaction, and that was the first reaction where I really gained traction. Like that, I think it has like 35,000 views or something like that. So it was like a good number, especially for like a new channel. And so I was like realizing like, okay, reactions are a quick way to like get fans and like get people watching you.
Yeah.
And so I got like, I'd say I got a week or two in it, and I just missed writing. My mental state was going way downhill, and like I was losing it because I realized how much I had like, writing was my escape from the world. You know, it was my escape from like, you know, it helped, you know, not mend or cure, but helped cope with like the ADD and like depressive and anxiety issues that I had for years. But that was like my Band-Aid, and that was how I expressed myself and got out of my own head, was to write. And so I started releasing my own music, stuff that I had put out previously, because I had put out an EP and I had put out some more stuff on Spotify. So I started releasing it on my YouTube channel, and people were like, yo, this is good. And so I probably put out, what do you think, four or five songs, maybe a freestyle, and then the KSI challenge came up. And should I just go into this, or are you gonna ask about this?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, but I mean, like, yeah, like how, like did you think that the KSI challenge, whenever that happened, like that was gonna happen? Like,
No.
You were gonna be one of the 10 people that was picked for it.
Not at all. The contest came up. I had just finished filming a reaction. It was like midnight, and I had to work in the morning, so I work at 8 a.m. And so I was getting ready to go to bed, and my reaction went up, and like 4 people commented right away, like, yo, KSI just put up this challenge, you need to enter it. And I'm like, I don't really want to. Like, it's midnight. I don't really want to. Fine, let's see what the beat is. So I played the beat, and I was like, I could murk this. Like, I could definitely hop on this. So I wrote a verse and recorded it, mixed it, went up in my attic, shot the video, got it up at like 4 a.m. And went to sleep, woke up the next day with it at 15,000 views or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So this happened.
Yeah.
But in that verse, which was my Poppin challenge verse, I was like, okay, I need to do something that's gonna catch everybody's eye. So I did that double time part at the end, and I said, okay, I need to do something that's gonna catch KSI's eye. So I was like, what's a good way to catch somebody's eye? It's to make them mad. And so, which is just a stupid like thing, because in actuality, like I did not expect him to even see my video, and so I was like, okay, who is KSI not cool with? And it was the first two that came into my head were Crypt and Dax, and so my name's Gats, so I was like, it's Gats at the end of the video. And when I don't know if you peeped his reaction when he was
Yeah.
He's like, wait, did he just say it's Dax? And like ran it back. He's like, he just said it's Dax. You're out, man. You're out. I was gonna say and I was like,
yeah, I remember that. I was like, that's not what he said, JJ. I'm like, come on, man.
Right.
Listen.
He went back and listened. He's like, oh, he said it's Gats. All right, fine, you're in. So it worked. So it freaking worked, man.
Yeah, hey, that's big time. Cause that's actually the first time I found out who you was. It was because of that challenge.
Yeah.
Because I did like a couple reactions. I reacted to like Crib, Screw, Dizzy 8,
Yeah.
who you've done a song with, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was it? Shizzy.
Yeah.
And I can't remember it was one of my other friends that actually I grew up with in high school that I reacted to as well. They did a Poppin challenge as well because I wanted to try and see maybe if I reacted to it and then maybe some traction would gain to his and stuff like that. But he didn't get picked, but his was pretty good as well. But yeah, man. I mean, you got picked, but then when the voting polls came out, because I see you talk about it in the and that Poppin cipher with Crypt, you was up more towards the bottom of the voting. Like, how did you really feel about that? Obviously, you put in the rap stuff. Like, how did you really feel that, like, people, even though you made the competition, you still didn't get the votes?
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't towards the bottom. I was the bottom. I was dead last.
Damn.
By like a large margin. And so at first, like, obviously, like, once I'm in the finals, I'm like, I want to win this. But recognizing and being, like, a realist, I'm like, okay. I told my pops, too, because I was talking to my pops on the phone after I got picked, and I was like, this is probably the end of the road for me because I have the smallest fan base of anybody that made the finals. And so they're already going to have a horse in the race, and so it's really hard to change somebody's mind when they already have a dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? So...
Yeah.
Regardless of how good I felt like my verse was, I knew that I wasn't going to win. But obviously, I wanted to. So I was bummed. Like, I was bummed, and I felt slightly disrespected when I was dead last. Because I was like, I know that my verse was not the worst verse.
No, it wasn't. I without a doubt, yours was not the worst. No, yours, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm not even trying to toot my own horn, but I was like, I know that my verse was good, and I know that it wasn't the worst verse. But then that all kind of, the next couple days blew over, and I'm thinking, this is probably, it was a good experience. It was crazy to have my name mentioned with like people that I look up to, like 6 Seconds and Dizzy and Crypt and all them, like Ali Dominique, like insane to have my name in that same conversation. And it was a great exposure piece. Like, I gained a lot of momentum from that, and I expected it to be over. And then I got a message from Crypt, and he's like, hey, yo, putting together this cipher for the finalists. Can you get me a verse? And I'm like, yeah, say less. Let's go. And he's like, okay, cool. I need a verse in 24 hours, and I need a video by Wednesday. And it was, like, Monday. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Hey, right into it, man. Because right into it, and like that Poppin cipher, you did really, really well on that. A lot of people was talking about your verse. Yeah. Like, what was your process? 'Cause I know you only had 24 hours to write it, as you said, but like, what was your process? Like, what were you trying to accomplish going into that verse?
I had a lot to prove. I felt like I had a lot to prove because I was getting clowned the second the voting results came out. Like, people were hitting on my DMs and stuff like that. Like, I knew you were going to be last. All kinds of, you were last place. And it's like, okay, but in actuality, like, I was 13th out of, like, 10,000. Like,
yeah.
Let's put it in perspective here. But I felt like I had to prove myself because I was like, I was last in the voting polls. And so I am not going to be the worst verse on this cipher. And so I pulled out all the stops. I went into it thinking I was going to be the first on, so I started with a real slow, chopped up flow, and I actually love that he put me second behind Leo. That was dope because Leo killed that intro or that opening verse. And so I had the instant attention grabber. Hi y'all, it's Mr. Last Pick. And just went through and barred out. Like I had the punchlines with the asterisk line and the juggernog line and stuff like that. And then I wanted to showcase what I could do. And so I broke it into the double time chopper flow and kind of snapped at the end. And I mean, dude, that whole experience was it was freaking awesome. I hit up my video guy and I was like, yo, can you shoot a video for me like tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, let's go. So it was in the middle of COVID. So
yeah,
I wanted to do something that was instantly recognizable as Cincinnati, especially for people around here. So my first thought was, hey, let's go break into the Bengals Stadium and shoot it on the 50-yard line.
Yeah,
Like,
that's gonna work.
That's gonna get me arrested, and this verse won't get decrypted. So I went to what's called the Union Terminal, which is our museum in Cincinnati, and so that's what the Hall of Justice looking thing behind me was.
Okay.
And yeah, we shot the video. Nobody was there because it was quarantine and you weren't really supposed to be outside. And got it done. He flipped the video to me that night, and it went to crypt. And the rest is history. Like it came out so well. Like everybody involved in that process just absolutely killed it.
Yeah, it was a very successful one because I originally thought that it was part 3 to the YouTube cipher because I was like, okay, what's going on? I was like, they got another cipher together, and people was like, no, this is just a random cipher, a crypt put together of all the top people that was in the ciphers and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's big time for crypt to be putting people on. And it's like, and I be listening and like Crypt, he put out a recent song going at other artists, stuff that I have my ideas of who the artist is going at, whatever. But it's like he don't do nothing to nobody. He be putting people on. I'd be like, why y'all be dissing him? I always be wondering that.
One of the kindest, most genuine people I've ever met. Like, dude is he's a real one. Like, he's super real.
Yeah. And so, last question I got for you before we get into some different topics is, who are some artists you want to work with in the future and some artists that you actually are going to be working with in the future coming up here soon?
Yeah, so are we talking like YouTube guys or are we talking like dream features, like collabs?
Either ones, however you want to attack it. You can go like, well, let's start with like dream ones first. Let's do the dream ones first. Let's go there.
Yeah,
go there first.
I mean, growing up, my favorite artist, like when I first got into hip hop, was Kanye. So I would love to work with Ye someday, even though he's gone off his crazy train.
Yeah.
He's kind of wild, but his production is always amazing. Like the beats he makes, like the creativity in his mind is just otherworldly. Like I don't know how he comes up with some of the stuff he comes up with.
Yeah.
So I'd love to work with Ye. Nas is my favorite artist of all time. So if I ever have a chance to work with Nas, like, probably won't happen. But you know what? We're gonna dream big, and I'll work with Nas someday. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But yeah, those are probably like my two huge, mainstream, like legend dreams. Be to work with
Legend
Nas
dreams.
and Ye.
Mm-hmm. And so like I said, with the Dreamers stuff like that. So who are some like other artists that you are in the works with working with right now at the moment and stuff like that, and maybe we can expect coming up in the future?
So I was out in Kettering this past weekend with PFV and Elijah Kyle, and so I'm on. They're putting together an EP, and so I'm on one track on that one. PFV's fire. So we're gonna be doing some more stuff moving forward as well. I plan on doing stuff. Actually, dude, there's so many people that I'm like planning on working with. I think Books the Rapper's coming down here at some point, and we're gonna do a full EP. Me and Dwayne are working on a lot of stuff. We're actually starting a podcast this next week.
Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah, so me and Dwayne are starting a podcast. We haven't figured out a name for it yet, but that's gonna be hilarious because we both talk way too much. And,
oh yeah.
And then me and DK Rap Artist and Sky Daddy have a song that I'm working on mixing right now. I have all the verses and stuff, and so that's gonna be coming out soon. And dude,
Okay.
I got one track in the barrel right now that's so hot that I can't wait to put out, but I have to make sure it's perfect because it's fire.
Hey.
Like it's fire.
Hey, we gonna be waiting. We gonna be waiting. We are gonna be waiting, fam.
Yeah.
All right, so I like to do this for my podcast. I like to switch it up and talk about some different topics. And obviously, I have my Steelers jersey on. This man, now that I see him, has a Drew Lock.
Yes.
Jersey. I don't get it.
Yep.
I don't get it.
MVP.
So, for those that don't know, like a week or so ago, like this list came out of like the top 30 picks. Like if they were like to redo the draft or something like that, the top 30 players you would draft in like for their respective teams, right? And I look at the list, and the thing that is the biggest hypocrisy on the list is Drew Lock at number 15. 15! How? This is a Broncos fan. Explain to... I don't see it in Drew Lock. He looks like a decent quarterback. Explain to me why you think Drew Lock is that good. Like, explain to me from a Broncos fan. I don't see it.
Yeah. So I looked at that list, and you're right. 15 of all players in the NFL is high. It really is. But if you look at because the Broncos were going to draft a quarterback in that redraft. We've gone the last, 5 years? 5 years with awful quarterback play. So we needed a quarterback, and it seems like we've got our guy now. And they believe in him. And so if you look at the quarterbacks that were drafted after Locke in that redraft, there wasn't really anybody that's worth like that I would personally pick over him. I mean, I think Matt Ryan was behind him, which isn't like you can argue that.
Hold up.
Matthew Stafford, you can argue that. Tua, we don't know what Tua is yet. We don't even know if Tua's got a healthy hip.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like his talent level. Hold on, because I'm pulling up this thing right now. I'm trying to find it real quick because
I'm about to pull it up too.
Because it's just, I'm trying to see right now. Hold on, one second, guys. But like, I would have this prepared right now, but I'm just now thinking about it right now. But like, where is it? But like Drew Lock he's a decent quarterback. I mean, he had that one game against the Texans that people was like, what are the Texans doing? Like, how did they allow this rookie quarterback to come in here and just kill him like this? Just body them like that. It's like, what's going on? And so, like, I mean, he has the typical size of a quarterback. Like, he's a big body guy. He has a nice arm on him. Y'all got to get some receivers for him, though. I mean,
what are you talking about? We just drafted 2 receivers.
Who did they draft this year?
We drafted Jerry Jeudy in the first round.
Okay, my bad.
Jeudy. That dude's gonna be
I forgot about that.
And they drafted KJ Hamler from Penn State.
See, I don't know too much about KJ Hamler. I definitely know about Jerry Jeudy. Okay, I forgot y'all drafted Jerry Jeudy. Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Sutton, and we got Noah Fant. And we got Melvin
Sutton.
Gordon, and we got Philip Lindsay.
Okay, I like Philip Lindsay personally. I don't know why Melvin Gordon would go there because I think Philip Lindsay is a feature back in my opinion. I think he's a number 1 back, but like I think they're gonna be sharing carries.
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
for sure.
they're gonna be. Where is this? I cannot find this.
I mean, you
list
can't
right
watch Sutton's highlights and not think that dude's a monster.
Okay, I found it. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, hold on. Is this it? No, this isn't it. This is not it. I thought I found it. I saw a list and then that wasn't quite it. But forget it. But like, I mean, what do you expect for the Broncos this year? You mean you're in the division with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a problem. Like, how do you guys think you guys are gonna do this year? Because I mean, like,
now don't give the camera the wide eyes there. Like,
I'm not. Man, look, bro. I'm just trying to figure out what the Broncos are gonna do this year because y'all got to deal with Kansas City. Man. I know this as a Steelers fan, we got to deal with the Ravens. Just what are your expectations this year, man? What are your expectations?
I think the Chiefs will still win the division. I think they will. I think after this year, and they've got to pay Mahomes $200 million. I think that's when we'll start taking the division over, taking it back, because they're not going to be able to build around Mahomes after they pay him all that money. Well, here's the thing for this year. I think we sweep the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders are that good, and they're going to a new stadium. I think there's a possibility we split with the Chargers, but they got Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. Like, I don't believe in Tyrod Taylor all that much. And so I think we sweep the Chargers, and then our schedule really isn't that tough. So I'm saying 10-6. That's my pick.
10-6 this year. This upcoming season.
I think we split with the Chiefs. I think we steal one from the
That
Chiefs.
is that. You think? Oh, so yeah. You think? I mean, division games, you probably could get one just because those games are always close. Stuff like that, rivalry games, stuff like that. Those are always, no matter how bad the team is, it's all rivalry games. They've are always close for some strange reason. But like, I mean, tenants. I mean, you got the Chiefs, obviously. The Chargers, I'm not a big believer in Tyrod Taylor. I think we're going to eventually see Justin Herbert this year. I think we're eventually going to see him. Then there's rumors that the Chargers are looking to work out Colin Kaepernick, so we don't know who the hell the quarterback going to be at the end of the year if they sign him. They're saying they're going to bring him in for a workout, but we'll see if that happens and stuff like that. But... And then you've got, who's the other team you were talking about? Is it the Chargers? Raiders. And then the Raiders moving into a new stadium. Derek Carr, I think, is the last straw. They drafted the dude that ran the fastest 40 time in the combine this year. Henry Ruggs, yes. Henry Ruggs. And like, he was a speed guy, but that's about it. I mean, he was the third receiver on Alabama, and he was the first one drafted. I was just like, whoa.
Picked, above CD and above
first receiver. Yeah, I was shocked by that one. But
that's the Raiders' like prerogative, though. They always pick those fast guys.
Yeah, I mean, like
that was Al Davis thing.
Yeah, that was the Al Davis thing. But like their defense, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just like y'all probably are the second best team in that division. I just wonder how you gonna get the. I just want to get you to 10-6 because you got my Steelers, obviously. I mean, the Browns, the Browns should be better this year. I think. I don't know. They're still Cleveland in my eyes, so nothing will surprise. If they have a losing record this year, it wouldn't surprise me at all because they're Cleveland. The Browns, let's see. You've got the Texans, who I think are going to take a step back because they stupidly traded DeAndre Hopkins. I already ranted about that on my second channel. I already ranted about that.
The legend, David Johnson, though.
Since talking about David Johnson, a man that's been injury prone for the past couple of years. Yeah. So, like, I mean, you got the Colts. So I think, you got Phillip Rivers. I don't know about Phillip Rivers at this stage of his career. So I don't know about the Colts. Tennessee, you got Tannehill and Derrick Henry and those boys. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna come back and be as good as they were last year. We'll see. The Patriots are out of the picture, I think, now. Yeah. I mean, unless Jarrett Stidham is the next Tom Brady, and we just don't see it coming. Yeah, you never really know. I'm sick of them because they've literally been the Steelers' kryptonite. Like if the Patriots weren't, I swear to you, if the Patriots weren't in the conference, Ben would have another probably 2 more Super Bowl rings. We probably would have, and we by far have the most. Like now we're tied with the Patriots for the most all time, and it annoys me. It annoys me that we're freaking tied. It really does annoy me. We had that, and now we don't have that anymore. If there was one thing Steelers fans do, there's one thing we do. If you know a Steelers fan, we will throw the 6 rings at you. We will throw it at you nonstop. But do you have the most rings in NFL history, though? Do you have the most Super Bowl rings in NFL history? Now we can't throw that at y'all anymore. We can't throw that.
I think this year in the NFL specifically is going to be super weird because we don't know if there's going to be fans at games. Like they're still talking that they might just sell like advertising in the seats, and so like that would change the entire dynamic of a game. Like, not having fans would be insane. And it's going to be
Yeah.
mostly digitalized off season. So teams that are making big switches, like coaching changes, quarterback changes, stadium changes, like everything's going to be super weird and fresh. They're not going to get the same, like, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
off-season program that they usually do.
Yeah, because like we've got players from several teams now that have got the COVID virus. Zeke it's probably the biggest name that's been called
Vaughn
out that
had
has
it,
right
too.
now. Von Miller has
He
it.
had
Oh,
it,
I didn't.
yeah.
I missed that. He had it. Okay, I missed that one. But like, yeah, like it's interesting because it's like the NBA is trying to start back, and then you've got Kyrie wanting to do this, do that, to try and with the protesting and stuff like that, and wanting to stand up for social justice issues, which is understandable, but at the same time, like from the reports stuff like that, if you guys do that, the the NBA owners are already talking about they're gonna reset they're going to renegotiate everything to the point to where they're going to end up like the NFL and have a hard salary cap if they don't have an NBA season this year, and that's going to be tough.
Wow.
So it's just like, I don't know if if it's going to be either the social injustice issues that prevent sports from continuing, or if it's going to be the coronavirus is going to stop the season from continuing, because like we've had multiple players come out say they're going to take a knee for the Star Spangled Banner this year whenever that gets played and stuff like that. And like do you honestly believe is the NFL gonna play this year? Like, do you see a situation where it may not even happen this year?
Yeah, but it would have to be like it would have to be COVID, because that's billions and billions of dollars lost, and it would have to be something catastrophic to keep the league from playing. But we already saw it with March Madness. But I mean, that was a different. I saw a freaking meme this past week. It was like May, the bar was like this high, and it was like fear of COVID, but the COVID was like this big, and now it's like COVID is here, but the fear of COVID is like here. Like, I mean, it's spiking back up by most reports.
Yeah, it's spiking. It's in the second wave, and the thing is that people think it's gonna be an even worse wave. That's the scary part. Like, the first report I saw that spiking back up is literally where I live at in Harris County. It's the area where I live in. I was just like, okay, what the hell is going on? It's sparking back up again. Like, I mean, reopening stuff, like, we just can't go on with life without reopening stuff. But like, is it truly safe for humans to really be back interacting with each other again? And like, because people are still dying from this, we still haven't quite found a vaccine for it.
Yeah, no, I think like large gatherings are. I think that a lot of things are gonna change. Like, I think the world is gonna be a lot different after this. Like, I'm not shaking people's hands all that much anymore. Like, it's strictly fist bumps and dap ups. Like, that's all you get. But it's just gonna be a different world. That's what we're gonna roll into. Is it's gonna be like a lot of things are gonna change. Like, I don't know that I'll ever go to movie theaters or anything like that again. Not because I'm like afraid, but like I've just become hyper aware of like germs and bacteria and stuff like that. Especially if we don't get a vaccine or anything like that anytime soon, which they're talking about. We might not get a vaccine for a couple of years. And so, I don't know. It's just weird, and I think we're all in a unified state of like we don't know what the fuck's happening. Like no one's ever seen this before, so like that's interesting and also like terrifying.
Yeah, very very terrifying, man. You just never know who has it. You just never know. It's just, I mean, they're saying it can get into your eyes now. Like, it's like it's a scary thing. And like, I mean diseases like this, like you said, they take years to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, it takes years for them to figure it out. And it's I don't know how long it's gonna take for us to get back to normalcy in the world. So, but you want to say something else?
Other than that, you were talking about like the social justice issues, like possibly preventing the league. I don't think that would happen, just because I think even the people that were like strictly against people kneeling during the national anthem are now like, well, where's the peaceful protest? And everybody's seeing like, oh crap. People that were like strictly against like the kneeling during the national anthem and were like misinterpreting the meaning of it and stuff like that, like being against the military, like they're even like saying, oh wait, peaceful protest has been happening, but we're stiff arming it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that a lot of people that were stuck in their ways are even coming around like, we were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we were wrong to like completely stiff arm that.
Yeah, like we've been like me as African American, we've been talking about it for years. Like
Absolutely.
I mean, the police, you just get scared by them and stuff like that. You just never know, because you never know if you're going to be the next George Floyd, or you're going to be that next guy that gets killed senselessly, and you just never know. Like it could be you. And so obviously with the whole kneeling thing and stuff like that, like when it got taken out of context by the president and stuff like that, and that's not what he was kneeling for, and the man is out of a job, and now this George Floyd killing is like, oh, now y'all realize what we've been talking about for all these years. Like we've been telling y'all. It just I think more than anything, the video of how him getting, it's so disturbing. It's just like it's something that you just quite have never seen before. It's almost the equivalent to like the pictures of a lynching. Almost, it's almost equivalent to that. And it's like, when you see that, I think more than anything, the shock of seeing a video like that is what has opened people's eyes up. And I think now it's come to a time where we're actually going to see some change. Now, how much change we're going to see, I don't know. That's the only thing I don't know. I still think it's only going to be a few things to get changed here and there, but overall, there's still going to be a more of a fight to get completely there. But I think we are finally making some progress with it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, the scary thing is like, what would have happened if there was no video? Like, no, because I mean, you can almost guarantee there's been situations similar that were not prosecuted the same way, or followed up with, or sparked the same amount of, change or widespread anger, because there was no video of it, and the police were able to get away with it, and just my word against their word, and it's insane. Like it's so crazy, and I agree with you that I think this will spark change. Like I think they're gonna talk about 2020. Like they're definitely gonna talk about 2020 in the history books.
Oh, but I feel sorry for the kids that have to study about this chapter right here, bro. This chapter is about to be hell for them. They gonna be sitting here like, all of this happened in 1 year, and we're not even halfway through it yet. We're only really halfway.
Hornets.
Like we're only halfway through it, and it's like, bro, what more can happen this year, bro? Like seriously, what more can happen? Like 2020 has been by far the craziest year I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Agreed,
by far. Like I don't think I've seen anything crazier than it. I mean, y'all.
No, definitely.
I mean, other people might have different opinions, stuff like that. Maybe something personally that's happened in their life or whatever. But just the overall, the world in a whole. Name me a year, please, that you've lived through that was crazier than this.
We lost Kobe.
Yep.
We had almost went into World War III.
Yep.
And then the murder hornets came out. We kind of just skipped over those.
Yep.
And then we had coronavirus.
Yep.
And then the George Floyd situation.
Yep.
And it's like, it's a wild year, man. But I also agree with you where you said I don't think this is going to be an instantaneous change. Like everything's not going to change, but it's a spark and it's a move in the right direction.
Yep. It's definitely.
And it's opened a lot of people's eyes that were closed, and have forced a lot of people to become educated when they've held off educating themselves.
Yep. So. But But that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for episode number 19 of the hashtag Why Is This News podcast. I appreciate you, Gatsby, for coming through. Any last words you want to say to the people before we get out of here, man?
Man, I mean, yeah, it was a blast. I'm so glad that I was able to come on. Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, like I was watching you before I started reacting.
Yeah.
And I think I hit you when you reacted to the Poppin cipher. Like, yo, this is weird because I've watched your channel before.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, wait, what? I mean, it'd be crazy. Like I got like one time, like a dude came up to me, like this is in college, stuff like that, right? Because he's like an artist and stuff like that, right? And I showed him my channel. He was like, wait a minute. I've seen you before. I was like, wait, what? It's like, it'd be crazy. Like, people don't recognize me in public, but like, if I show them like my channel, they'll be like, wait, I've seen your channel before. And it'd be mad wild to me. I'd be like, bro, like, I didn't know that this person knew me and stuff like that. But like, it'd be crazy, man. But, hey, it comes full circle, and now we doing a whole pod. You used to watch it, man. Now I got you on the channel, man. So hey, it come full circle.
It's wild how life works.
Wild. So but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Next week's guest is my boy, my guy, rapper T Griff. He will be on next week. You guys actually found out about this last week because my homie Don kind of spoiled it for you guys. But if you guys watched the podcast last week, but yeah, he is the guest that'll be on this upcoming week for episode number 20. Me and Gatsby are out. Peace.
Hey, cuz, tell him how I'm coming, homie. Hey, tell him how I'm coming.
This song don't make no sense.
Hey, bitch ass, I heard you broke with your rich ass. Why you fuck up the game with your glitch ass? And I heard you a rap with your snitch ass.
She get more paid than a scientist. Ain't not any nigga think about trying it. Bitch, I'm hotter than a climate.
Left him alone like he's stuck on the island. Yeah, stranded, beefing and not like a bandit. And I'm still at the top when I'm landing. Stay with the bread like I'm making a sandwich.